I said, good morning, afternoon, evening to all of you. I think we're going around the globe today, so glad to have you all with us. Welcome to Suprema Connect 2020. I'm Ramsey Burns, Product Manager for Suprema's Access Control line. It will be great to talk to you guys today and tell you a little bit about our intelligent controller, the CoreStation. And as I said, go ahead and leave your questions so our staff can answer while I'm talking. And I'm going to talk for about 15-20 minutes, and then if we have some time left, we'll open up the floor for some live questions, and then continue to answer your questions on the chat after there. So to get things started, let me show you a little video to get you moving and show off some of the things about our CoreStation controller. So the two topics I'm going to cover today are first, why CoreStation? How did it come about? What does it do? And then what are some of the unique things that make it a sellable solution for you and your customers? So many of you here may have a question, why CoreStation? What is the philosophy behind CoreStation? And to answer this question, I'd like to tell you a little bit about why Suprema is in this business. So Suprema's business was started based on building trust for managing identities. We believe that every person's identity must be safely stored, but also easily available to authenticate. To achieve this, we started by making the world's most secure biometric devices. We wanted to bring you a holistic experience so that in situations where multiple modes of authentication are needed, you can trust your credentials and personal information are handled safely and delivered through products that are relevant, robust, and cost-effective. So CoreStation is really the realization of Suprema's desire to make an end-to-end trusted solution for identity and security. So to help you remember some of the best points about the CoreStation platform, we made a little helper for you. We have C for complete solution. It's an adaptable solution for all devices and credentials. One for all, a scalable to address the needs of small entry-level up to enterprise systems. Role in high security, secure by design. You can trust your data is safe and easy to install. Installer-friendly features plus onboard biometric matching. So what exactly is CoreStation? It's a 4-door access controller that each port has the standard connections for door hardware, as well as weekend and RS-485 reader interfaces. It can store up to 500,000 users and up to 5 million event logs. So it communicates, of course, to the host software by Ethernet and downstream supports devices on the RS-485 line. So why do we say that this is a complete solution, the CoreStation? Because you can support all types of credentials and all types of devices. Whatever credential you need, RFID reader, fingerprint, face, mobile, all these can work with CoreStation in intelligent mode. So that means the actual credentials are stored and matched inside CoreStation. Instead of having to manage information in many different devices or to make lots of requests to a server, all the vital information is stored centrally and securely. So to further show you about this, we're going to look at a short video.
Hello, let me show you how CoreStation works with Suprema different type of readers. This is the Suprema fingerprint device BioStar R2. These are Suprema Genpass type of RFID reader Express D2. That is Suprema Face Recognition Device Face Station 2. Below the Face Station 2 is Suprema's million type of RFID reader Express D2. All of my credentials are stored in CoreStation, and all the devices are connected to CoreStation through RS485. My card is registered CoreStation. I'm access granted. And my fingerprint template is also registered in CoreStation. My face template is also registered in CoreStation. My Suprema mobile access card is also registered in CoreStation. Thank you.
Further, why do we say that CoreStation is a one-for-all solution? So CoreStation can support small and scale up to very large complex systems. Since we have 4-door support, this reduces the number of devices that we need to be managed versus 1 or 2-door controllers. This is going to reduce maintenance and support, providing overall lower cost per door. And when you need to expand, CoreStation supports up to 64 slave devices, giving you maximal flexibility to make the best design for your site. This capacity gives the ability to have a very small network footprint, allowing even systems with hundreds of doors to occupy just a few IP addresses. So what about the role in high security? One of the most essential things of any system dealing with personal data is maintaining security of data storage. As we already mentioned, there's no data storage on slave devices here. So all the data is stored on the CoreStation and matching is done there. Information is stored there. First of all, it's just data representation of actual physical characteristics, not actual images of face or fingers. So there is almost no possibility such data could be used, even if it is breached. However, we are storing all this data with encryption, so that since we only have one storage location for a large number of devices, we're minimizing risk of any attacks, even though such attacks would have extremely low chance of getting past all the safeguards we have. So bottom line, you can sleep well knowing your site and your data are safe. Now, since we need to load information into the CoreStation's secure storage, we, of course, are going to connect to the network to do this. With many IT networks these days, there is convergence, so that we have access control system where there are a lot of other devices as well. PCs, CCTV, IoT, you name it. This creates vulnerability if we don't do something about it. So we are securing that communication with strong encryption using TLS 1.2. This ensures that even if we have malicious players looking around on the network, they're just going to get a bunch of confusing junk instead of useful data. So unless you have a supercomputer and a couple million years to wait, you're not going to be able to crack the code and get away with anything useful. And when we're talking to our slave devices over RS-485, we're using encrypted data there as well. And we have OSTP protocol, so we can have a secure and standard protocol that can connect to other third-party equipment without customization. So, going ahead, why do we say CoreStation is easy to install? We have many installer-friendly features, too many to talk about here. So please have a look at our other Suprema Connect videos for more information about that, or visit our support site. But let's look at an example if we are using biometric readers. Probably what you're used to with biometric readers is a bit complex. Maybe you need to connect the reader to the LAN, program the IP address, connect the device through WeGAN to another controller, use another software or middleware to manage the templates in that biometric device, etc., etc. And it can get a bit head-scratching, to say the least. Now, if you compare it to how we could do it with the CoreStation, first step, we connect the reader to the power and comm lines of CoreStation. Number 2, we can start enrolling. Easy. CoreStation takes the rest of it, the headache out of it for you. So if you're an installer, you're going to love that for sure. Less wires, less guesswork. If you're an administrator, the mysteries of why one reader just won't sync will be gone. And if you're a user, you're still going to get the fast response that you always expect when you open the door. So now we've seen some of the things about how CoreStation is going to work for you. And To make it easy to get onto CoreStation platform, we have literally boxed it up for you. So let's take a look at our CoreStation 4-door access kits. So what's inside? You guessed it, CoreStation. So start out with CoreStation controller. And that's going to be coupled with our selection of our readers. We have the XPass 2 D2 Mullion, which is a RFID card reader, which also supports mobile and mobile and multi-technology RFID, such as MyFair, Prox, Deskfire. And then we have a gang box style that with or without the keypad. And we have our BioEntry R2 device, which also has RFID and mobile capacity in addition to the fingerprint capability. So depending on which kit you buy, you're going to get a mix of these different devices. So controller plus 4 readers, and of course you're going to get a great price. Now first, when we say this is an all-in-one kit, it contains all the necessary devices to secure 4 doors. You will be able to provide any credentials and readers that your customer needs. And all you need to add is the locks and power and wiring, and you're ready to go. Of course, everybody loves free stuff, and you get that with the CoreStation kit. First of all, you get our BioStar software to run the whole system. That's free up to 5 doors, which is going to cover these 4 doors for the kit. And next, you're going to get 50 credentials for 50 free credits for mobile credentials. That means if your site has 50 or less employees, as long as those people have a smartphone, which I think just about everybody does, an Android or iOS, they get a free credential to use on all those readers, and that does not expire. You don't need to buy cards. You don't need to buy a card printer. You can do all this through the mobile, including putting your company logo, etc. But you say, okay, 50 is great, Ramsey, but I have 5,000 employees, or I want to use this for our visitor entry, and we have 10,000 visitors a month. It's going to get expensive. Well, with our flexible pricing model, we also have you covered. You can buy individual credentials, as I mentioned before, or you can use our dynamic credentials. So basically, you'll be able to issue and revoke is unlimited amount of credentials per that reader when you apply 1 credit to there. So for a reasonable subscription fee, you can add as many cards as you want, and that's on a per monthly or per year basis at a reasonable cost. And we give you, in that kit, we give you 1 free month of unlimited reader support, so you can try it out before you buy it. Now, everybody looks forward to having a system that can be easily installed and managed. And of course, CoreStation is your ideal choice. One way we make it easy is with an onboard web server to assist with setup and diagnostics. In addition to normal functions like IP address setup, you can check all the inputs and lock functions, as well as the status of slave devices connected to CoreStation. That's without having to have any external software installed. This allows installers to be able to be 100% sure that when they have got everything connected without having to wait for someone to come set up the software and test everything for them. They can walk away and know that it's going to be okay. So moving on, what are some of the selling points of CoreStation? We're going to take a look at a few case studies that will help you to see how some of our partners have been able to create wins based on CoreStation capabilities. So the first one we're going to look at here is in Turkey. So our partner in Turkey uses their own software solution, which is integrated directly to our directly to the CoreStation via our Open SDK. So we've installed the CoreStation with more than 10,000 cardholders at this site, and we have more than 600 doors that are equipped with readers that are using Legic smart card technology. So these readers are then connected by CoreStation to CoreStation by weekend. And we have various physical security devices, such as barriers and turnstiles, that are being used there. So we can encompass all different types of readers, entry devices, and softwares to with our CoreStation to make a solution that works for big corporations like the one that you see name at the bottom there, which I won't say. So another example of flexibility and integration options is this case from Peru. The end user is Vero. It's a leader in the agro-tech industry, largest producer of canned and frozen fine fruit vegetables in Peru. They needed a system that can read the national identity card. The identifier is printed with a barcode, so we need a specialty barcode reader that again is going to connect with our CoreStation. And instead of having actual physical doors at some locations, we're using a column light indicator to show the result if you've been successfully authenticated and can enter the site, or if you're rejected and must go for additional processing. In this site, we're using our software BioStar, which is connected to the SAP ERP system. So syncing user data and event transactions. So this prevents us from having to do multiple entry or do exports of data. We can centralize everything in their SAP system to send the user data across, and it will automatically be synced in our system and allow people to access the readers and the other assets at the door. So creates a multifunctional solution for the clients using external systems and different devices. And next, we'll have a look at the case in Thailand. This is an interesting site where we're actually using our IP-based fingerprint device, BioEntry P2, along with our slave fingerprint device, BioEntry R2. So they're both connected to a CoreStation. Now at perimeter doors, we're using our R2 fingerprint device, which is a simple slave device. So there's no data storage. If someone breaks in or takes it off the wall, steals it, there's not going to be any information stored in there. So absolutely useless. Plus, they cannot open the door using the cables that are connected to the outside area. So the cables connected to the back of the reader are only for communication and power. They don't have any other vulnerabilities. On the other hand, with our P2 readers here, they are used with our CoreStation in slave mode. So again, not storing any data, but they have their own internal relay and inputs as well for the door hardware. So it's a very convenient for interior doors where the physical attack risk is not a concern. Again, for the reader, we only need power and communication coming from the controller, and all the other door wiring can go straight to the reader, thus minimizing the cable runs, making for a very quick, easy install and maintenance. Like we mentioned before, we would have needed about 41 IP addresses for this installation, but in this case, we only need one. So finally, the IT department is going to be happy with us. Okay, so we can see how CoreStation can be a unified solution for a wide variety of requirements. You can mix and match complementary devices based on your site requirements without having to try to combine different systems. What's more, this power comes at a very economical price point. And we hope this is going to make it easy for you to manage identities and provide for the best solution for your customers or for your organization. Okay, so that's a little bit about our CoreStation. We're going to pause for a minute and see if we have some questions that we can answer live. So if you'll hang on for just a few minutes, I'll be right back with you. Okay, we have one question here asking about what Suprema devices are compatible with CoreStation. And actually, most all the devices are compatible. Our biometric devices and face recognition devices and RFID readers. It depends on the device and what mode you have it set on, which functionalities will be enabled. Generally, you get all the matching functionalities, but it depends on the actual device. So you need to consult with your sales support when you're designing the system. There. Okay, and can CoreStation be integrated directly to their software? Yes, instead of using our BioStar software, as I mentioned, we offer our unified SDK, which is the same one that's used to integrate our biometric devices into other systems. You can use that same SDK to integrate CoreStation directly, so you don't need to use our software at all. We have several partners around the world that are doing that, and basically using the software that they provide and using our devices as a one bundled solution. Okay, I think we've about hit the time that we are allowed here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. And thank you a lot for attending Suprema Connect 2020. I wish you all a safe and healthy finish to the year. And of course, we hope to be back soon, able to meet with you in person. Don't forget to look around all the other great content on Suprema Connect 2020. And contact your local sales support representatives if you have any questions. You can also submit requests on our website. You can find more content about Suprema, about our devices, about our solutions on our LinkedIn, Facebook sites. You can find more information about everything Suprema on our website, supremainc.com, including more information, more detail on the case studies that I provided today. So thanks again for joining us. Please, if you have any more questions, the staff will be standing by to answer for a few minutes. Just go ahead and keep putting those questions in the Q&A box. Thank you again, and good afternoon, good morning, good night to all you guys. Cheers.